Well, to talk more about Elon Musk's controversial pay package, I'm joined by Tyson Jominy. He's Vice President of Data Analytics and Consulting at JD Power. Thank you so much for coming on our program.
Thanks for having me, Francis.
I want to first start with this number. I just can't get over it, $56 billion. Your reaction to this approval by shareholders, some would argue there's no one like Musk, but my gosh, that's a big number.
I mean, it certainly is a big number. It's hard for most of us to really wrap our heads around how much that is. But of course, Elon Musk has done things that we haven't seen other people do, particularly in the automotive space. I mean, Tesla survived when we haven't had a successful startup here in the United States, at least, in over 75 years. So he's done a lot of amazing things, made a lot of value for shareholders already. Is 56 billion a lot? I don't know. It depends kind of on where it goes and what really happens with Tesla going forward.
It's a lot more money than I will ever see. What does this vote do to Musk's image and his credibility? I'm sure it bolsters it even more, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and it reinforces from the shareholders that those that are interested in the company long term want him to remain there. Of course, shareholders don't have to stay with a company. So in a lot of ways, it's survivor sampling. Those who voted yes are those that really stuck around and believe in what Elon Musk is doing. Those who voted no, which was about 25% of the vote, are those that remain to vote no. And they may not stick around either. They have the choice to get out now.
Now, this vote does not override the court decision earlier this year. Can you explain more of how the court sees this and where do we go from here legally? I mean, will Musk ever see this money?
Well, I'm not a legal analyst. I'm an automotive sales analyst. So, I may not be the one to give legal advice here, but it seems like from everything that I have heard in the situation, that it's still not a guarantee. And there's still quite a bit of work to overcome in the Delaware courts and able to enact all these changes that were approved. So it's not a done deal yet from everything that I have seen and heard on the situation. So we'll see. It's still very fluid at this point.
If you can talk about Tesla's financial performance now, it's certainly, as Tony mentioned in her story, it's facing a lot of challenges from its competitors. Where do you see that going?
Yeah, I mean, globally, Tesla is starting to be challenged everywhere, particularly in key markets like China, like the United States. As a matter of fact, here in the United States in May, we saw Tesla's share of EV sales fall below 50%. For the first time. So that was sort of a watershed moment here in May. So they're being challenged everywhere. They have a lot of capacity at a time where they don't have a lot of new products. And in the automotive industry, having that capacity means you have to produce, you have to get consumers to buy your products. The net result is lower prices to get their sales, which means profitability will start to be challenged greatly.
You mentioned China. How much of a competition is it for Elon Musk? Is that something he's going to have to look at very closely?
I mean, the China EV market alone is very competitive, just from the sheer number of entrants, not to mention the technology and the innovation that we're seeing from the Chinese automakers are just bringing just a massive influx here of new ideas and different philosophies that are really challenging Tesla in China. So it will be a challenge for Tesla to maintain their momentum in China like it's going to be in Western Europe and the United States.
And what is the outlook for the company and Musk at the helm? I mean, where do you see this company going now?
Well, that's really the big challenge at the heart of this whole court case and then the voting by shareholders is where do they see it going? The company believes that there's great potential in robots, in artificial intelligence, and then the cars are just kind of the hardware to implement a lot of these innovations and technology that they're bringing to market. From an automotive perspective, it's going to be very hard and continue to get harder, particularly as the number of entrants that come to market are bringing new vehicles in new segments with new technologies and innovations. The rate of change is so fast that it's going to take a genius, perhaps a superhuman, to keep up with it. And maybe that's Elon Musk, and that seems to be what the shareholders are saying is the case.